Okay, everybody, welcome to the penultimate episode, Bradshaw.
Is that the penultimate? I think this is the ultimate.
What is this? What is this penultimate talk? What?
This is the penultimate episode of our 80's Rewind rewatch, because this is the last episode of our cartoons.
The show that we're going to watch.
But we are going to rank these.
Rank them,
in the next episode. So, technically our penultimate. So, it's our last viewing of our last cartoon here.
I suppose when you laid out like that, it does make sense as the penultimate, yes.
I was just like, am I stupid? I was almost 100% sure this is the last one we're watching.
I know, same.
Well, you both are stupid.
I mean...
Yeah, we were for a different reason.
Oh, maybe.
Okay, we'll get into this. I'm here with my Broichi boys here.
What's up?
Hi, I am Broich.
They're here. They're waiting. We are gonna watch... I think it's called Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers, or just Adventures of Galaxy Rangers. Whatever.
Yep.
Never seen an episode, I don't think, but I have seen images of this.
Yep. There's like I was saying before this, like I have like the spark of an iota of a little flash of something that I remember it for some reason. Don't know why. No idea. Couldn't tell you anything about it. Forget the name every time.
We've all been there. We've all seen the intros where it's just like, hey, check it out. Spaceship is the first image you see on screen. They know they're...
Sprace.
It's in Sprace, and there's Rangers, and I'm guessing it's not like Power Rangers, it's more like Texas Rangers, because there's
we don't know.
A Texas Sheriff star in the emblem.
Oh, yeah, that guy. That's this one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, can you say anything about it, Bradshaw? Like... You said you had a semblance of an iota of a thought.
I didn't even look it up before we did it tonight. Nope, nothing.
Great. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the penultimate, and let's watch Adventures of Galaxy Rangers.
2086. Two peaceful aliens journeyed to...
Keep watching to see like what else they're
Ass Slam, dude. Sorry, there's a guy named Ass Slam. Dude, Gaylord and Cock, dude? Hell yeah. The Ass Slam.
Alright, we did it. We watched Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers.
Galaxy Rangers. Dude, even no matter how many times we said it, it's still just like, what the hell is the name of this?
Yeah.
But I think this was a big surprise to all of us, because it's fucking tight, dude.
Yeah. Give me a second here. I think it went to the next episode. I wanted to go to back.
I thought it was like... I for sure thought, like, this is the Also Ran, the one that, like, who cares? You know? Like, I was just like, this is whatever, this is another one. But it was actually cool shit. The intro animated awesomely, and then the TV show itself, it wasn't just the intro. The show itself was animated.
I do wonder if it drops off in quality in any future episodes.
Oh, in the future episodes? I don't know. I mean, there's definitely, the intro is always going to look better than the show itself, too.
Yeah.
But
I will say there are some issues that I had, and this could have been just how we were watching it, but the mix was not good.
Oh, yeah.
I heard the background music way more pronounced than the actual dialogue.
There were a few times, audio mix was a little odd.
A little wonky.
Other than that, a visual spectacle. Crazy amounts of, like, 3D rendered, like, things with 2D animation. Like, they did a lot of wireframe things for, like, the... I don't know, the ship designs and...
Yeah, the AI or whatever.
Yeah, the AI computer on their ship.
But they didn't... 3D. I mean... There were plenty of things doing, like using wireframe graphics in the late 80s or even early 90s that did not look as good as this.
True.
Like, props to the team to really be able to, like, and clearly this is the pilot, so it's gonna, like we said, probably look better than some of the other episodes, but
sure,
it put a strong foot forward, I'd say.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting, like, my expectations for this was just, like, Let's
The
just
lowest?
see
I had
what the
none.
heck this is. But when we got
Yeah.
into it, we had, not just one dynamic or like one type of alien. We got to see a variety of different aliens kind of working together, like that were like bad or pirates or whatever. But then like different like designs of like humanoid space people too.
Yep.
So it went all over the place.
I thought this could be some yeehaw space shit, but it was just this is a good time. It was not that completely.
Yeah, the robot horses in the intro really like threw me in the specific way that I thought that was gonna like heavily influence the aspects of the show to have it be like a lot more Western. I don't know how it's gonna play in necessarily, but I think like I like that we got to see a bunch of different aliens and ship designs and things. I was a little bit hesitant in the very beginning when the show started, and it was immediately like, this thing visited us and gave us great powers, but it kind of doesn't matter. Like, I just blazed through it, and then I'm sure that the show will take care of itself, like explaining things, but I like that it didn't need to be like, oh, these little bat rabbit guys are like super oppressed and they only live on this one part of the planet and they eat this shit. Like, it just moved. I like that.
Right. Here's the opening narration for you. In 2086, two peaceful aliens journeyed to Earth seeking our help. In return, they gave us the plans for our first hyperdrive, allowing mankind to open the doors to the stars. We have assembled a team of unique individuals to protect Earth and our allies. Courageous pioneers committed to the highest ideals of justice and dedicated to preserving law and order across the new frontier. These are the adventures of the Galaxy Rangers.
That's pretty tight. I like that. That's cool.
Now, I mean, one thing about this episode that felt a little different, and I could be wrong, is that the actual team of Galaxy Rangers that we like see, they get introduced at like the very like tail end, like the last 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. Not even 15, but like 10 minutes. But this group here, we follow them for the longest time, and then he basically like it's like his origin story, and then we pick up with the team, and I assume episode 2 we'd get to like know who those people are, but I was like, who are these lads who are gonna be the superpowered team?
Yep, it kind of just set up the plight of our main pro tag here, like his girlfriend or whatever, wife. Is that what they said their relationship was? Because I missed that.
I remember that one line where he's like, "I must get back my wife."
I must get back my wife. I lost her.
My wife.
It was right at the end when he and the actual Galaxy Rangers were being like introduced and going through like, your implant will be this. He like curled his bionic arm. He was like, "I must get back
my wife."
Okay, and then so we know that that's his mission is to get her back because she was abducted by one of the bird aliens.
Yeah,
the evil Chozos, the Chorizos.
Yeah, the Chorizo.
Yum.
But yeah, it was kind of interesting of to hold off getting to the main team and just have it be this guy's origin.
It does almost feel like a movie, right? Like a little intro movie, TV movie, setting up the thing more than a first episode, right?
Right.
A
lot of action that went on too.
Wilson had brought up when we were watching it, he's like, this looks like a show we took from Japan and just like put something over like Voltron. But it actually was a American produced, created by and produced by American producers, and but it was animated in 90, it said broadcast and syndication between 86 and 89. And then the actual animation was done by Tokyo Movie Shinsha, who is, we were talking about, owned by Sega Corporation. I almost said Sorga Corporation.
Sorga.
And they had done animation.
Hold on. What was
like,
what was the name of that studio?
TMS Entertainment. It was a Tokyo Movie Shinsha. They had done Detective Conan, aka Case Closed in the States. They've done Lupin the Third. They did a bunch of anime, and then they'd also done productions for US TV shows. Like, I was just looking at it. So they did for Deke Entertainment, they did first season of Inspector Gadget. They did The Real Ghostbusters, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. For Disney Television, they did Gummy Bears, the first season of DuckTales, season 1 and 2 of New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, first season of Chip and Dale. They did an episode or 2 of Gargoyles. The Tiny Toon Adventures for Warner Brothers, Batman the Animated Series, Animaniacs, Superman the Animated Series, New Batman Adventures, a bunch of the kind of DC stuff. Galaxy Rangers, obviously, that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man the Animated Series. Like, they did a lot of animation for stuff we've all come to know and love.
Good for them.
That's crazy.
It is pretty
I didn't
crazy.
expect that much. So, as I was reading some more there, show's become a cult favorite and been considered innovative and ahead of its time. Had a unique sense of humor, and each character was well defined without the trait of cliches to sell toys, which was common among shows at that time. It was a little bit different. Well, a lot of it different. So there's a couple interesting voice actors in here. Wilson, you were asking about one specifically. Who was the one of that Captain Kidd or whatever, one of the bad captains, the like bird lizard man. That guy. Mm-hmm. Said he sounded familiar.
Yes.
Well, he has been on this series of ours before.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he was none other than Momura, the ever-living.
Okay.
He was also the from Thundercats. He was also that commander that they were talking to at the end, the guy with the mustache. Okay. He voiced him too in this.
What? Okay.
Yeah, he was also on Silverhawks. He's also on the Turbo also ran Rankin Bass show that we didn't even talk about, but is kind of part of a trilogy of shows of Thundercats and Silverhawks. It's called Tiger Sharks.
Okay.
Just think of what the Thundercats look like, but instead of cats, they're shark people.
What? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I forgot about it. I saw it get brought up in something, and I was like, oh yeah. The Turbo also ran out of the thing. Yeah. And then there's a man in the show called Doug Prius, who played Goose. He's one of the Rangers and a bunch of other stuff. He played Mr. Funny on Doug's dad.
I do not remember Doug's family's voices at all.
He was on that. He was also on Thundercats and Silverhawks, playing characters.
Any chance of a Cam Clark appearance that we don't know about?
No, but there is someone fairly famous that plays our lead character of Zachary Fox, the man who must find his wife.
Oh, Chris Farley?
Nope.
I know, I just...
Oh, yeah, I get what you did there. I just caught that. It is none other than voice of Lumiere and Detective...
Oh, my goodness.
Over the fuck on Law and Order, Mr. Jerry Orbach.
Whoa.
Yep.
Okay, didn't expect that one.
Yeah, Lenny Briscoe from fucking Law and Order.
Yeah, Lenny Briscoe.
Of course, he's in many things in stage and film and TV, but that is what a lot of people our age will know him from. But yeah, he was our main character in the series. Now I want to watch this. Is it anywhere, Tyler? Where'd you find this? Can we talk about where you found it?
Yeah, this is on, it's on the Internet Archive. You can actually watch some of these also on YouTube in a really kind of poor quality, but
because I do kind of want to be watching this now because it was fun to watch.
Yeah,
they have quite
this
a bit.
One of the few. This is one of the few that I've been like, I want to revisit and watch more of. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Well, just like based on some of the visual variety and like.
Oh yeah.
I just enjoyed seeing some of the art, and I would enjoy like continuing to see what they can come up with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's more of the same with like a team in space. We've seen that with a lot of the shows we've watched, but this kind of has another element to it, like Bradshaw was saying, that it's not there to push a toy necessarily.
Yeah,
it's there to tell a captivating story, but also it's not like those cheeky one-liner type of characters that are thrown in there a lot, like we've seen with Voltron, like we've seen with Snarf, and those typical characters. Like we have things that resemble that, but I didn't see a whole abundance of that. Like the AI maybe comes close to that.
Yeah, that feels like a pretty close.
But I was assuming it could be that Bat Bunny thing. Like I thought that thing was going to have like a weird Pidge voice, or like
oh gosh, really yeah, that certainly could have been the case too.
But the only annoying thing was the AI, and like that's fine, like because it's kind of being the HAL 9000, but like kidified.
It was a tiny bit grating, but it was pretty like far between occurrences. So
it did this. Right. It did this thing too, which is completely threw me for a loop. Like I was not expecting the AI to show us an orange Yoda playing the saxophone in a Hawaiian shirt to distract one of the bad guys. That was kind of a weird, unsuspecting comedic beat that I was like, okay, this came out of left field. I like it. I don't know. It's weird. But it kind of it sold that distraction. That was kind of out of left field, sort of silly. And I think that's what you meant, Eric, by like kind of the revolutionary aspect of like it being a little bit not tongue-in-cheek comedy, but like actually like beat comedy. Like you kind of have a punctuation of comedy at a particular moment. It's not just like saying one-liners, just for the sake of like like all of the generic things the G.I. Joes would say, like, man, I sure hate Mondays, like those one little things that like just kind of sell us as like the character. This actually had like moments of like tense, like traumatic scene of like this woman getting attacked by an alien, and you're like, oh my god, and then out of nowhere you just see this kind of silly thing, and you're like, oh, what? And then that kind of is a more like it gets some levity into the scene and kind of helps.
You're watching this scene, and then all of a sudden the lady appears, and she's in distress, clearly, and you're standing there, and you're in the doorway in your bathrobe, and you're like, oh weird.
Oh weird. What are you doing? This guy caught my eye too. His look at the camera here. When we were watching, I was like, this looks like me right now. I have a headset on, and I'm at a computer.
Like a couple of times where like I feel like without it even being a fourth wall reference or anything like that, the characters just like directly spike the lens.
Well, I I connected with this alien. It's a great design for an alien. It almost looks like a gray,
Yeah.
but it's so humanoid, just big black eyes like a doll's eye.
Like
And
a
then,
doll's eye.
I don't know if you noticed, but there is another kind of funny moment where the bad alien is like spewing things, and then he gets a little umbrella on his
Yep, I saw that.
And I thought that was like another clever little beat comedy moment where they just put the button on the scene that, just kind of like a little gag.
There's just enough of like a uniqueness as well as variety and then quality to it. Like there's one thing to be said about some of the stuff we've said or seen where it's like it certainly is unique, or maybe even like something that we've seen over the years a lot or been exposed to it. Maybe that's part of what is so appealing about this is I've had zero exposure to it. Like for all intents and purposes, this came out today.
Yeah.
But I would keep watching it just for stuff like kind of like this, like the design of the bad alien in this, the appealing nature of this little guy in this little moment, and so many like I can't really name what they are, but a lot of little disparate things kind of coming together to make it just enjoyable.
Yeah. And it's a shame, because our series is based on like these shows that had are in the pop culture zeitgeist, like the ones that we've watched prior where they're household names. This is definitely not one. It didn't have a longevity like the other ones did. It didn't have a prominent toy line, but it did have like Eric was saying, like a cult following, kind of like it found an audience somewhere, and people do regard it as like revolutionary, which is great too, to have that legacy. But there are no like new iterations of this. Am I right on that?
Zero. Absolute zero.
So that's another thing, like, because we've seen it in, like, new iterations of Thundercats and He-Man and Turtles, obviously, and Transformers. This is another one of those that, like, it'd be interesting to see if they could do a revitalization of it, or in some other form, like a comic or anything,
It also feels very much of its time.
That too.
It
Like it couldn't exist at any other opportunity or window other than like how it is, and maybe in like coming back in a completely different form of like still the same Galaxy Rangers and maybe a couple of the same named characters, but overall like pretty different. But I had a lot of fun.
It's only been released on 2 DVD box sets in 2008. The first set in May and the second set in August. Otherwise, the only other like home releases was in like Germany, where they have it. They've done Blu-ray versions in 2008. Blu-ray version in 2012. But otherwise, home release, not very wide. Which was why I was like, is this something like something we could talk about how we're watching it? Because otherwise, how the hell are we watching it? But Internet Archive, I guess. There you go.
Yeah, they do. They've got a good repository of things on there.
Yeah,
a lot of Godzilla movies.
And good suppositories, too.
Oh, I can't speak to that, but good place to look then.
See, look at this animation. Just this quick little wireframe kind of thing. Like, it's so bizarre that they would implement this, but it was used throughout the whole show, and I remember seeing little, moments throughout our watch of this where it's like, oh, they're using this same graphic. Oh, they're using the same graphic, or like they're using the whatever program to make these wire meshes of different things like ships or obviously heads, and they're making the emblem of like the logo of the Rangers right here, the star, and it's just like It's almost like a render that they just recorded, and they're like, yeah, let's just render it, and then just kind of fill it in with our own 2D animation. But yeah, the effect works. It's kind of cool. The sheriff looking star on there, and
oh yeah, dude.
Here, right here is when he says, I have to get back my wife.
My wife. With his angry arm.
Glowy arm. He's been charging that arm.
My radiated arm. I need my wife.
I need my wife.
I need my wife.
I need my wife back. And this guy's like, I can do math. Yay.
I am good at computers.
And then the other girl has like psychic powers like Phoenix.
But it's very vague what that is.
Yeah. And then this guy's like,
Yeah, she just, her
I'm just
mind's eye
immortal.
just shows this dude.
I'm practically invulnerable. I can do whatever I want.
Almost invincible.
Yeah, almost. And I'm Quick Draw McGraw over here.
Yeah, poor dude earlier with the computer. It's just like, come on, dude, just give me some of that. Come here.
He's got the Achilles going on. There's just a weakness somewhere. You don't know where.
Yeah,
this pain.
This little stare at the camera, like, all right, guys, smile. Let's go
Yeah,
find
like
mom.
pose for the camera, kids.
Let's go find mommy. All right, Dad. Let's go find her. Yeah, not much else to say. I enjoyed it. I'm sure my Birchie guys can agree with me there. It was fun little watch. No expectations going into it, but I'm pleasantly surprised with the outcome and the result.
Yep.
Yeah, it has some history. It has, some ties to some of the greats with the animation studio, the people that were involved with making it, the voice actors and things like that.
Bracho's gonna come back in a week or two, or in some amount of time. I can see him coming back and hitting us with like, "Oh, yo, dudes, you know what happens in Galactic Rangers?" And we're like, "No, Bracho," and he tells us all about it.
Oh yeah. He just info dumps, and it's his new special interest.
You know what?
We will be back with our ranking of all these next, so stay tuned for that. If you have any other shows, also leave it in the comments. If this was one of your favorites, let us know. Maybe let us know some episodes that you recommend us watching. This one was a great one as far as the first episode goes. Like, I would totally I'd rewatch this episode, and I'd probably watch the one after it. I'd continue the storyline because it does end on a good cliffhanger, and you just now starting to get to know the actual team. So yeah, there's that going for it too. A lot of the other first episodes, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'd watch the next one, or I'd rather just watch the highlight episodes or the most recommended from other people. But we'll end it there, and we'll be back for the ranking of all the 80s cartoons that we've watched. So stay tuned.
Sure.